Welcome to this week's episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy. I'll bring you the latest news and what's going on around NASCAR. We'll hit the highlights from last week's race, and I'll give you my fantasy picks for this upcoming week. Join John and I for all things fantasy, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun while we do it. Stick around. Holly's Racing Fantasy is sponsored by Fifth Down Fantasy. For the latest NFL news and pro football and NASCAR picks, trust the gang over at Fifth Down Fantasy. Since 2016, Fifth Down Fantasy has been a favorite destination for football fanatics looking for smart and savvy advice and analytics. Visit fifthdownfantasy.com today. Fifth Down Fantasy, real fantasy advice by and for real fantasy players. Okay, here we are. Here's the wrap-up of the AdventHealth 400 race results at Kansas Speedway this weekend.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the winner, who was Denny Hamlin, first place finish.
Yay.
Yay. No, he was not in my picks because I didn't quite trust him.
No.
But
many people don't.
Right. But who was in my picks? Second place finish, Kyle Larson.
Right.
Third was William Byron. Bubba Wallace finished fourth, as I thought he might. Ross Chastain was fifth. Joey Logano sixth. Chase Elliott came in seventh.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. Martin Truex Jr. eighth. Tyler Reddick ninth. And Austin Dillon, surprisingly, finished 10th.
Right.
That is the lineup finish for the AdventHealth 400.
It was a very exciting race.
But now we can. This was actually an exciting race, which is, you know, it's been touch and go, and some races have been dead boring, and some have been But this was actually a very exciting race.
Yes.
And I think the most excitement for me was the fact that we didn't have an overtime.
Right.
So we were really allowed to see the drivers duke it out for a win.
Right.
Because we're not on a big, long track where number one person is 3 seconds ahead of whoever's second. So you know that if nothing happens, this person's going to win. This was, short track, door to door. And Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson really did get door to door.
Right.
Now, let me give you a little bit of a background here. Kyle Larson had an incident very early on in the race where he had to put on a set of tires.
Right.
So by this point of the race, he was on old tires. He was wobbling. He was leading. But man, I thought he was going to get into the wall a couple of times.
Yeah.
So Denny raced him hard and aggressively. And right on the last lap, he tried to side draft, accidentally clipped him, and Larson wobbled, got into the wall, and Denny was able to get the number one finish. I have to say how impressed I am at Kyle Larson, though, because he could have wrecked and gone across the grass, but man, he grabbed control of that car despite the fact that it was on lousy tires and still came in second. I think anybody else on that racetrack would have wrecked and finished like 15th, 20th.
Oh, yeah, easily.
But man, Kyle Larson, I'm not biased. We all have our favorite drivers and our not so favorite drivers, but Kyle Larson's a good driver.
He really is.
You cannot take that away from him.
And where you got to give credit to Denny, too.
Yeah.
Because Denny probably could have done that when there was 4 laps left.
Yeah.
He let him go all the way to the last lap.
He did.
I mean, he wasn't going to intentionally try to ruin his day.
Right.
But,
I think you said earlier that you think he was waiting. He was giving Larson the opportunity that maybe his tires were just going to go sooner.
Absolutely.
Instead of going in.
And so he, and as a driver, what do? You wait,
Right.
I mean, if you're good, if you're, anybody else,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I know everybody booed him.
Right.
When
of course.
Because, everyone,
we know that goes back to Martinsville several years ago.
Right. When he wrecked NASCAR's baby.
his NASCAR's baby love, Chase Elliott. So now all the creepy fans are boo Denny Hamlin every single time he gets a win.
Right. And then, and every it's sports entertainment. So, it's like wrestling.
Right. Because they also boo Kyle Busch every time. But Kyle Busch is really used to it and he like thrives on it.
Yeah,
and he gets all excited and he's like, yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Where you can see that Denny's still a little bit uncomfortable because it's like, what the heck? When did this happen?
Yeah. He seemed a little stronger though this time.
But he did.
He seemed almost like, he kind of gave a smirk to the crowd, like, boo me.
Yeah, that's true. He's getting there.
I mean, but it's like sports entertainment to some ways because every sport needs a villain.
They do,
and I think Denny's kind of like taking over that role for Kyle Busch.
I think a little bit,
because of the whole wreck with Chase and NASCAR's, picture, NASCAR's whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, picture painting.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he's like the new Hulk Hogan. You love Hulk Hogan when he's good, and when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO, you booed him, and it's it is what it is. But I don't know. I think Denny really did. I can't see any other driver who would have done it different.
Absolutely.
Very
few.
I mean, when you really think about it, you think Chastain would have took second place?
Oh my God, not at all. No, Chastain would have wrecked Kyle
probably would have
Larson
wrecked him like
worse.
6 laps, and then Larson would have ended up,
Exactly.
And I think Jesus would have moved Moses in that situation.
Yeah, I think you are exactly correct.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, even though Moses would be lead in and Jesus be like, I have to move you, my son. But you're Jesus.
Amen.
You're not going to move me. Sorry, son. I'm moving you.
I like that.
And that's how it would have all went down.
I think you're exactly right on that.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Anything else that happened on the track other than, you know what? Ross Chastain actually got a couple people mad at him. Can you believe it? Is that new?
I think we could have.
Is that a new
it might
thing?
be a breaking story.
He's such a damn angel. I can't believe that anybody got mad at him.
Right. I mean, here's Ross. Hi, I'm Ross Chastain. Right?
Yeah.
And then here comes Gregson.
Well, let's first get into him.
Let's not get into that yet.
No, let's not.
Let's just talk about the race first.
Let's talk about Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch.
Okay, let's do that first.
You have some interesting,
Yeah, because over the radio, Kyle Busch said some very pleasant things.
Yeah, we noticed during the race that Kyle Busch side draft into Chastain, but we weren't sure why because they didn't really show anything before that.
Right, they didn't.
And afterward, when you heard the radio replay from the interior of Kyle Busch's radio,
you heard.
You did. You heard beeps.
You heard beeps.
And you couldn't even tell what he said because there were so many beeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what he said was, he's pissed because I'm pissed that he races like an effing a-hole.
Yeah.
And so I doored him twice down the backstretch like, this is your warning, boy.
Yeah. Nice. Right.
Busch,
boy.
Yeah. That's what he was heard saying over the radio. And
yeah.
It beeped, and he was talking so fast, it just sounded like beep, 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 beep.
Right.
Like
because he didn't really say
Roadrunner.
effing a-hole.
Nah.
He said the real word.
Yeah, he didn't say effing a-hole.
We're just keeping
I don't think he
clean.
censored himself.
Not at all.
Not Kyle.
No, we're just kind enough to censor for the sensitive ears.
Yes.
Oh, do you remember Austin Cindric's entire tire and wheel assembly came off?
Yeah.
Man, it came off right in the middle of the track, the entire wheel assembly.
Right.
And rolled across the track. And it was a miracle that no one hit it.
Yeah, it was a miracle. And it's like, what is going on? They changed this to be one screw, one bolt.
lug nut.
One lug nut.
I know.
And there seems like there's more loose tires than ever.
Right. I
the
know.
last time when they had put 4 or 6 on, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there seems like there's more now. So it's like.
Right. You can't get one lug right.
It's just one.
It's kind of crazy, right?
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well.
So now we can go into the Chastain and Gregson events.
Right.
I don't know if we, if we want to get into that in NASCAR news, maybe, or
we could talk about that on the news.
Oh, you know what? One other thing I wanted to mention is that Martin Truex Jr. had a really good day.
He did.
And he made the fatal mistake, he and James Small, actually it was probably James Small, his crew chief, who took the risk of putting scuffs on his car scuff tires instead of his sticker tires on. And because I think that he thought, well, if there's another caution.
Which it looked like it was going that way.
Which it looked like it was going because there were so many.
Right.
He thought, next caution, we'll put on the stickers. He'll have the best tires on the track, and that'll get him ahead. But unfortunately, there were no more cautions after that point. So Truex finished 8th because he couldn't keep up with everybody else who had better tires.
Right.
So that was kind of
the most
sad.
lead changes in history.
That is really crazy.
Happened at this race.
I believe it.
Yep.
I absolutely believe it.
You know, and on a note too on Denny winning the race, you know, on how he won it. It's funny. I was talking to my brother and he's like, yeah, Dale Earnhardt made his living doing that.
Right.
And they loved him.
Right.
So
I know.
I mean, that's a point. That's a really, you know, I thought of that. I said, I got to put that on the, I got to put that on the podcast because when you think about that, it's like, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. And he's one of the only people that listen to us. So it's good to actually quote people
he actually
that listen to us.
Yeah. So I figure I'd give him a shout out.
Yeah.
That's for Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, crazy. It is crazy. And oh my God, Kyle Petty had the audacity to compare Ross Chastain to Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's one thing to race them hard at the end, but this guy races everybody hard and for no reason and ridiculously, like 3 laps into the race. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Well, if he could reel himself in, but man, enemies.
No friends. I was just going to say that.
Constant.
No friends. This guy has no friends on the track. And I don't even know if his teammate is his friend, to be honest.
I know. And again, I will clarify, you know? We are not doing personal here. This is not a personality.
This is
Ross Chastain may be angelic. And
he seems like a nice guy when you talk to him.
I'm sure he's a nice guy,
seriously.
right? I mean, but he's got to he's got to reel this in, or he doesn't.
Or he doesn't.
You know
I don't think he will.
He's entertaining too, I guess.
Right, because he's part of the wrestling, you know, he's
part of the NWO.
Right, he's part of it, you know. He's got to keep it, and you know, and NASCAR loves this, man.
Yeah, they do.
This is not bad for ratings, and we'll get into that in the news because, you know, actually the whole fight on pit roll is now news, so we might as well make it the news.
Oh my God, we will make it the news.
You know,
so exciting.
Yeah, so it's very cool.
It
was a great race, though. It was a great race. Entertaining race. It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch.
You know,
I'm excited. I hope that this week's race at Darlington will be just as exciting.
Yeah.
I wish that I was going to be there.
I know.
But, you know, life gets insane and you just don't end up going.
No.
But Darlington's always fun, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a fun race. And
are there 2 races at Darlington?
There are. I believe the second one is during the playoff. It was September.
Oh, well, hey, maybe we could shoot for September.
Hey, let's try.
You know?
I would love it. And then, you know what, folks? If John and I said we were going to go to the Darlington race in September, there will be a hurricane that weekend.
There will be.
That will come off the shore of Carolina.
There will be a hurricane and 4 tornadoes that will circle the track.
Absolutely.
Because that's like, this is the kind of luck that we have. We're not even joking.
No. And then
that's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
It is.
And then Dale Earnhardt
really
Jr. will be like, well, we never seen anything like this. We can't believe it.
They'd be like, we've never seen anything like that. Because that's us.
It is.
That's so us.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, so I think that's enough of a recap for the race. Denny Hamlin wins, Kyle Larson second, William Byron always.
Yep.
Despite the fact that he had a pit road, William Byron, folks, was 2 laps down.
Yeah.
And he got himself in the lucky dog position enough to get back and finish third.
This guy's turning into a star, man. I mean, NASCAR star.
I do like him.
Oh, I like him too.
But it's just, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we will get you updated on the NASCAR news.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Okay, NASCAR news. And I guess the biggest piece of NASCAR news is going to be about the pit road altercation after the race between Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson.
Right.
Now, Kyle Larson was in the middle of being interviewed for his second place finish. And all of a sudden he's talking about what they could have done or, what happened. And then he says, I wish I could. And then all of a sudden you see him staring off to the side.
Right.
And the cameras immediately go to Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson in the middle of a kerfuffle. And when you watch...
That's what you want to call it.
Yeah. Which was pretty darn Do I sound terrible if I say it was pretty darn exciting to see them fighting?
It was exciting, but there was just a kind of a sad thing about it.
Yeah, what was sad?
Because if you're going to go to a fight,
yeah,
and everyone's been waiting for this moment,
yeah,
you want to see Ross in this particular situation.
Right, you want to see
get him punched.
Right, you want to see everybody get punched.
Right. You don't want to go to the fight, grab his what
happened was Noah Gragson grabbed. What you see is they're talking, they're arguing. Noah grabs the fire suit and he's kind of shaking Ross around a little bit.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Ross clocks him.
And if you go to NASCAR and watch the video, they have actually with the audio, it is a smack.
Yeah, it's a clock.
Yeah, it's not just
foof.
Like foof.
Yeah, no, it is a clock.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, before Noah can get his hit in, everybody pulling him apart. Yeah. Come on,
I feel bad for him because I think Noah would have definitely threw down.
Noah Gragson has a hot temper, folks.
Yes.
And which is fun. You know, it's going to be fun to see.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of old school before the next gen cars came because I don't know. I feel like ever since the next gen cars, everybody's been too polite after the track. Well, and don't forget with COVID precautions, nobody was allowed to go and beat somebody. Right.
If you went to beat someone down, you could die from COVID.
Right.
So it wasn't
so no one was allowed to do any of that.
Right.
Now it's coming back around.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back around.
Yeah.
My mother, who now watches NASCAR and only recently started watching it, she's like, "Oh my gosh, what's NASCAR going to do about that? They're fighting, throwing punches."
Right.
I said, "This is old school."
Yeah.
I said, "You wait. Now that someone has started, it will probably keep going."
Right.
I said, "This used to happen all the time." Yeah. Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano. I mean, even Kevin Harvick storming up to Jimmy. Jeff Gordon. I mean, it's crazy.
But the thing
it's been crazy.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It's like, why not let them fight a little bit?
Exactly.
Though? That was stupid.
I know.
And it's just like, really? Because I don't know. That was just not cool. Because hockey lets them fight it out.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's kind of, why does hockey let them fight it out?
Right.
Because these guys are body checking each other all day long.
Right.
So they let them kind of get a little bit out.
Right. So they don't beat each other to death with a hockey stick.
Exactly. So why not let them get a little? So why not the same thing with NASCAR?
Right. So they don't beat each other to death with a car.
Let them do. Let Noah get a couple in.
I know.
And then break it up.
I know.
Don't break it up after this jerk.
Yeah, but I will say,
who's a jerk to everybody.
I know. Well, I will say though, Noah only grabbed his suit, and Ross is the one who threw first.
Man. Oh yeah, he threw down.
So it wasn't.
I don't think it's over.
No, it is definitely not over. It is definitely not over.
Yeah.
Oh. Any other NASCAR news? I'm pretty excited about this weekend's race at Darlington because number one is Throwback Weekend, which is always so much fun to see all the paint schemes and the throwback styles from the past.
Right.
But it's also going to be throwback in the booth because Awesome Bill from Dawsonville is going to be a guest in the booth for one of the stages along with Kyle Petty.
Who's he going to be with?
Kyle Petty?
Oh, Kyle Petty.
Yeah. We're snobby. We don't really love Kyle Petty either.
Not a huge fan.
But you'll hear more complaining about that.
Wait till we go to NBC.
When NASCAR moves to NBC in June, you'll hear us complain more about Kyle.
And if you're a listener, you may not like him too.
That's right.
We may get you on our side.
That's right.
Come to the dark side.
But what excites me the most is that Carl Edwards will be in the booth.
Yes.
I didn't want to screw up that word. I wanted to say Carl Edwards and not screw it all up.
Carl Edwards.
Because Carl Edwards was my favorite driver. He was my favorite driver until he spontaneously retired. So it'll be nice to see him.
Yeah.
So I'll have my eyes glued to it is Mother's Day that day.
Yeah.
So I don't plan on doing much other than having my eyes glued to the NASCAR.
Right.
But yeah, so that's going to be pretty exciting this weekend.
Didn't Cindric get fined, you said, before
Austin Cindric did get fined.
Because of the tire issue.
For that tire flying. He got penalized.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So that's the crew members. Stone France and Patrick Gray have been suspended from the next two events.
So
I know.
NASCAR's really upset about them tires.
They do not let, if your tire goes flying, you're not gonna.
Yep.
You're not gonna be. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna get penalized, or you're gonna get fined, or something. But it looks like it's just 2 crew members, and that's it for now.
I wonder if they can get Carl Edwards to do a backflip, like in the booth.
I wonder that too. Room. I wonder, has he been practicing? Has he kept up on that?
Probably
Would he still be able to do it?
He might.
I mean, he swears up and down that he's not coming back to racing.
I know. He always
says. Did we mention Ryan Newman last week?
No.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay. Since Cody Ware is not racing right now because, he's the one that got in trouble with Talaw.
Yes, he got in trouble with
beating up a woman or something.
Yep.
So Rick Ware Racing announced that Ryan Newman will be filling in part-time.
Yes.
Throughout the season.
Yes.
Which I'm trying to find out when he's going to race.
Yeah.
You would think he would race at the throwback.
Right.
But they haven't announced that yet. But
that's really cool, though.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
I know. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I like to see him throw down with Ross Chastain.
Oh, I would love to see that too.
Because, that's like...
You never know.
Isn't it only a handful of moments like I ever cried?
Yes.
And do you remember when he got in that accident at Daytona?
Yes.
I was like actually almost I was crying for Ryan Newman.
Yeah.
I said I couldn't believe it.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
That was February of 2020.
Yeah.
Right before chaos broke out around the world.
Yeah.
The Daytona 500. It rained on Sunday, so they had a Monday night race. Why would you have a Monday night race? I don't know. And sure enough, Ryan Newman in the last lap got wrecked on the roof. Oh my God, we thought he was dead.
Yep.
Everybody thought he was dead.
Everybody
People in the booth didn't know.
Jeff Gordon was crying.
Oh my God, everybody was crying.
It was like everybody was crying because it just looked like that was it. And the guy walked, he didn't walk out of it. He walked out of the hospital.
Out of the hospital like 3 days later.
Yeah.
Like a picture of him and his girls walking on it was amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool.
One of those cool stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, no, I didn't really like Ryan Newman before that.
Yeah. He was kind of like the Ross Chastain.
Yeah. But not as bad.
Wrestling, though. It changes. Things change. And,
I know.
And maybe someday we'll all be cheering for Ross Chastain.
Yeah, that's true. Because
you don't know.
You know what? Nobody liked Kurt Busch either.
Nobody did.
And now he's a favorite.
Yep. Then he got married.
Yeah.
And then he became like awesome Kurt Busch.
He did. He became awesome Kurt.
Then they got
Busch.
divorced.
Yeah, that's sad too.
So that's sad too.
But he's still awesome.
Yeah, but he's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that's pretty cool. All right, so I guess at this point we're going to hit up a little sexy booth talk. There's no Cooter this week because he's taking a trip to the Jersey Shore, and he is going to be in the studio next week because he's going to Darlington.
Yes,
we're going to have him in Darlington. He'll be here live.
Not live, but
his wife
pre-recorded.
As usual.
Yeah.
His wife is going to come in with him and do a little bit. They're going to do the race recap, I think.
Yeah.
So
they're going to do one segment at least, right?
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
That'll be cool.
All right, so here's the end of the news, and we're going to move on to Sexy Booth Talk because we did have a few. We even have Sexy Booth Talk from a driver this week.
We did.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, you got to check this out.
All righty.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you've missed this.
You've missed me terribly.
It is time for Sexy Booth Talk.
Finally.
We actually have a little sexy track talk, too.
Oh, no.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Folks, we don't make this up.
No, we don't.
These are phrases that were actually uttered in the booth this weekend.
We didn't say them.
It could have been Mike Joy.
Mike Joy.
Clint Boyer.
Clinty Boyer.
Or Kurt Busch.
Or Kurt Busch.
Who it was, we'll never tell.
We won't tell except for the one on the track.
That we will tell.
We will tell because it's a quote.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these words and put them in sexy talk so they're totally different.
Stop it.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Plug your ears, Mom. The track is hot and slick. You're going to see a lot of slide jobs.
Oh, yeah. What's a slide job?
Next one.
Go ahead.
He tried to fill in the hole, but Chastain was coming.
He couldn't wait.
And our final sexy booth talk from the booth.
From the booth.
Bell is coming. Yeah, he's going to toss it down in there.
Oh, yeah, he was going to do that. Amazing.
Okay. Final sexy booth talk, although this is the sexy track talk. And I'm not going to name names, folks.
You're not?
But I am going to say this came from the person who finished second.
Ooh.
During their post-race interview.
Gotcha.
And this is no lie.
Okay.
He was touching me, it felt like, and it had me really out of control.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he did.
He was out of control.
Absolutely was.
Nice.
I'm so happy we got more sexy booth talk this week.
Even better this week.
Maybe we'll get some from Darlington.
I hope so.
Okay, that's a sexy booth talk from Kansas, folks. And we're going to move on to the fantasy picks.
See ya next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, here's my NASCAR fantasy picks for this week's Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway.
Can't wait to hear them.
Okay, starting with Brilliant, and these are the guys that have the best shot at a win this weekend. It is a no-brainer. I'm going to pick Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
He has been so close to a win at Darlington so many times, but never quite got it done.
Okay.
Right now, he's hot. I think he's going to do good. He's going to come out swinging.
All right.
And I don't think he'll wreck anybody to do it.
No.
Martin Truex Jr.
Really? Martin again?
Oh my God, he's really good at Darlington.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he has led the most laps in Darlington over the last 3 years.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't know, fourth or something overall.
Okay.
He has 2 Darlington wins, 4 top 5s, and 10 top 10s.
Wow.
So as long as James Small and Martin Truex Jr. can work together to figure it out, it says he might be able to do it again.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Kevin.
I know, but, you know, he hasn't been winning, but he's been doing well.
He has been doing good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. So last September, his exhaust system went out.
Mm-hmm.
And so he finished 33rd.
Right, that's right. I remember that.
Before that, he did not finish outside the top 10 since 2012.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are
single
good numbers.
digits.
Yeah.
He has 18 top 10s,
okay.
13 top 5s, and 3 wins at Darlington. So I'm really hoping this guy will get a win in his final season before he retires here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
For God's sake.
That'd be good for NASCAR, too.
I know.
Yeah.
So Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Those are my brilliant picks for the week. And
Brilliant.
I know it's old school, but I don't know.
No, it's an old school track.
It really is.
It's old school day, so that vibe is going to be
Throwback day. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, here are my fantasy sleeper picks. Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
He is actually the best driver in the Cup Series right now at Darlington.
Yeah.
But I'm just not ready to put him in the brilliant category
back.
Back to back number 1 and number 2. He ran so well last week. I don't know. Hopefully though.
Yes.
But he has 4 wins here. 12 top 5s and 16 top 10s. So if you didn't pick Denny Hamlin last week, I would say he's a good bet for this week.
Okay.
And next one up in the bold category is Eric Jones.
Eric Jones, who hasn't done too well this year so far.
Hasn't done too well this year, but he has 2 Darlington wins.
Wow. 2?
Yep. 5 top 5s and 7 top 10s.
Oh.
I know.
That's good.
And seriously, he has a lot of single digit. The only time that he finished poorly was he was in an accident and he had an engine failure.
Wow.
Otherwise, he's hot.
You know what he needs?
What?
He needs a Toyota.
He does need a Toyota.
And
You're
he'll have
exactly
that next
right.
year.
Yes, and he'll have that next year.
Yep.
But my prediction, Legacy Motor Club gets his first one of the season with Eric Jones and Darlington.
All right.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, and then third, Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick.
Yes, because even though he didn't start out very well at Darlington, the last 2 races he's finished in the top 5.
Oh.
So he has no wins, but he has 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s.
Okay.
So, well, no, I think last time he finished 3rd, and the time before that he finished 2nd.
Okay.
So he's got a really good chance.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my don't picks. And once again, let me clarify, that doesn't mean that they won't win. They could crawl out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
But based on their current record and their past record at this track, I don't think it's likely.
Okay.
And I hate to do this to you, but Ryan Blaney.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's only been in the top 10 one time at Darlington.
Okay.
No wins, no top 5s, one top 10.
Well, he's going to change that this week.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Kidding.
You just got to pick someone better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To back you up.
Yep.
Eric Almirola, I don't know. He's been here so many times, but he's only been top 10 twice. Yeah, I know.
Stay away.
I know. And Chris Buescher.
Chris.
He actually does he's been doing very well this season, as we know.
Okay.
And he has 2 top 10 finishes, but I don't know. I'd say that he's not the best choice when you consider everybody else ahead of him.
Right, that's true.
So, but he might. I don't know. I don't think he'll win.
Right.
I mean, he could come in the top, but I don't know.
Well,
But I'm saying I'm going out on a limb because there's other drivers that do poorly here, like William Byron and Chase Elliott. But I'm certainly not going to put them in my bonkers list because
not the way Willie's driving these days.
Yeah. So if I'll say for the record right now, if William Byron or Chase Elliott wins at Darlington, I'll be shocked.
Right.
Because traditionally they are not good here.
You know who I think is going to do really well?
Who?
Todd Gillian.
You just spoke it into existence.
I spoke it. Every time we say this guy's name on this podcast, he does
Gillilan.
well.
He's going to crack the top 10 this week.
Just send me my paycheck, Todd.
All right. I'm curious to see if this really comes to fruition.
I'm going to do it every week. We'll see what happens.
All right. That sounds good.
All right.
So that's my fantasy picks for the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway on Mother's Day Sunday. Brilliant, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Bold, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick. Not so great, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, and Chris Buescher. That's my picks, and I'm sticking to them. If you like what you're hearing, follow me on Facebook at Holly's Racing Fantasy for a little more information here and there. You can listen to the latest episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy every Friday whenever there's a Cup Series race, wherever you get your podcasts. Or subscribe to Holly's Racing Fantasy on YouTube for current and past episodes. Thanks. That music says that we are at the end of our show.
We are at the end of, you ready?
Yeah.
Episode 13. Which is the unlucky number.
That's superstition.
Yeah.
But
not for me.
It's unlucky that I'm done with this week's show and it's time for me to move on.
There you go.
I will say the next race is at Darlington, but guess what? After that, May 21st is the All-Star Weekend.
That's awesome.
At North Wilkes-Barre Speedway in North Wilkes-Barre, North Carolina.
That's going to be awesome.
And Jimmy Johnson is running that race.
Yes, he is.
I wonder if Ryan Newman will be in there too.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
Are you going to do picks for that show?
For the All-Star race?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do picks for All-Star race.
Yeah, why not?
I do a few just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a fun,
But the All-Star race doesn't count in our fantasy, does it?
No, I have to do something else. Usually,
you do something fun with it.
Yeah, I do something fun with that for our fantasy league.
Yeah, okay.
Usually I'll say, hey, anybody that picks the winner can get like 5 points knocked off.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
I know.
All right.
But other than that, I'm just going to say, I guess, come for the fantasy, stay for the fun. And one last thing I need to say to everybody.
Can't only.
You know what it's going to be.
I can only imagine what you're going to say.
Ready?
I'm ready.
If you or someone you know has a gambling addiction.
I still do.
Then if you want to get help.
I kind of do.
Call the National Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-522-4700. Don't spend your hard-earned money on gambling.
Never mind.
Don't go to the ShopRights or the Shop Stops or, scratch-offs. Well, maybe a couple here and there.
Get some help. Come on.
Don't let gambling rule your life,
Don't
folks.
put your family in a barrel.
Right. This is just
remember
fun.
that? Was that in the cartoons or was that just like if you lost everything you were like wearing a barrel?
Oh my God, that's right.
That would be so heavy.
That's
like if you had the barrel with the straps.
Why do you remember that?
I don't know.
That's like Woody Woodpecker or something.
It's like, he was poor. He lost everything. He's wearing you're wearing a barrel.
You're wearing a barrel.
You don't want to wear a barrel unless you're going over Niagara Falls.
That's right. And you don't want to really technically do that either.
No, you don't. It's not safe.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Only we can make a joke out of a gambling addiction.
I know.
That's okay. But it is serious business.
You
folks.
got to laugh in life.
You do have to laugh in life.
Yeah, or you'll cry and die.
You totally will cry and die.
Yep.
So we will see you back here next week when we talk about the Darlington recap, and we have the Mice family on here for a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law, Eileen.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Rose. Happy Mother's Day to my stepmom, Debbie.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Love you.
Wish you were all here for a big party.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kick it back on that day and try not to do nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to get some dinner.
I'm going to have, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you cook for me.
I'll cook for you.
Come on over and cook for me that weekend, John.
I will.
That'll be awesome.
It'll be amazing.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
I want y'all to have a great week. And and happy Mother's Day to my coworker, Courtney, who actually listens to the show.
Oh, yeah, Courtney.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Sounds good.
All right. And anybody else who listens to the show, happy Mother's Day. If I missed you, we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Because there are pet mothers, Like
there are pet mothers, Marlo and Kelly.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, Marlo has Jeffrey and a host of others.
Everyone has pets too.
And Kelly has a bunch of pets. So happy Mother's Day to the pet moms too.
Pet moms too.
That was really nice of you to say that.
Yeah,
John.
see?
I know.
Everyone thinks I'm,
mean and
nasty.
Gronky and curmudgeon-y.
Yeah. Well, I am that, but every now and then
you come up with
a sparkle of sunshine.
Oh, you are a sparkle of sunshine.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, everybody.
All right.
Have a great week and race on.
Race on.